Isa pa nga concern ko diyan, bilang isang educator din, although sa college ako, Ang concern ko rito for instance siguro sa basic education problem din ito 'no, para bang correct me if I'm wrong 'no, pero sa college nararamdaman ko rin ito, Kunwari nag-enroll ang isang estudyante, meron pala sigurong condition for instance 'no, kunwari nasa spectrum, but they
Mhm.
are being enrolled as part of a regular curriculum o kaya as part of a regular class, and then nagkakaroon ng struggle, 'di ba? Kunwari iba nga nabubully pa, So I'm not sure whether institutions, whether higher education or basic, education, meron talagang proper tools, proper
Yes.
mechanism, proper policy to be able to deal with that.
Yes, yes. Thank you for bringing this up, Christian, because this has been our advocacy in the last month, no? Linggo-linggo talaga. Talagang hindi namin binibitawan yung issue ng inclusive education because talagang napakarami in the estimates of ID Insight, about 4 million students are unassessed and are not getting the support that they need. And talagang urgent yung problema na ito. In the schools that we have visited, and we have gone all over the country to talk to teachers who are handling students with special needs, talagang kulang na kulang yung implementation ng Inclusive Education Act or RA 11650. Yung IRR nito lumabas noong 2024, pero 2026 na, hindi malinaw sa ground yung implementation. Unang-una, yung assessment tool na ginagamit natin, which is what you mentioned, wala pa. Ang ginagamit ng schools ay isang MFAT or multifactorial assessment tool na pang grade 1. Pang grade 1 siya. Pero dahil wala nang iba pang assessment, hanggang grade 7, yun pa rin yung ginagamit niya. But it is not sufficient to really understand or screen students in terms of their learning needs if they have distinct learner needs. Ikalawa, since 2015, naunawaan namin, natutunan namin sa mga teachers, nag-mainstreaming tayo. Ibig sabihin nun, walang assessment, may disability yung bata with manifestation or sometimes may assessment man, mainstreamed sila. Ibig sabihin, sinasama sa regular class, which is good naman. But dapat malinaw yung assessment tool, malinaw yung needed accommodation or ano yung support na ibibigay. Dapat ba may learning aid? Anong learning materials yung kasama? Ano ba yung grouping niyan? Pero wala kasing ganung guidance sa field. So ang sabi ng ibang teachers na nakausap namin, Sir, ako, 30 yung students ko, 12 minmainstream sa akin with disabilities. Iba-iba ang disability. Yung isa, hearing impaired, yung isa visually impaired, yung isa may Down syndrome. Lahat yun kasama sa regular class. Paano ko, sir, tuturuan yun? Tapos sabi nung binanggit ko yan, sa Pangasinan yan nung binanggit ko yan, nung dumalo kami sa Iloilo last Friday, sabi nung isang teacher, Sir, mas mahirap yung sa akin. 55 students ako, kinder. 55 kinder. At 10 sa kanila with disabilities din. Pero walang suporta, walang training for teachers, walang materials for the students, hindi sila natutulungan. And
Yun
ito
nga,
talaga
oo.
malaking challenge kasi the learners, sabi ko, ma'am, anong ginagawa mo? Ang joke nga nung isa, kasi may activities daw siya. Sabi ko, anong activity mo, ma'am? Coloring. Sabi ko, ma'am, yung topic mo English, bakit ka nagpapakolor? Anong kinalaman nun? Naghahanap na lang sila ng ipapagawa sa estudyante. So, ang
Yun
sinasabi
nga,
nga
oo.
namin, mainstreaming is not inclusion if there is no proper accommodation and if the child is not learning. At araw-araw, yung teachers natin nagsisikap pero kulang sa suporta, kulang sa guidance, kulang sa malinaw na policies, which is why we are really appealing that DepEd act on this urgently.
Yun nga, tsaka ang hirap naman 'di ba, sa dulot-dulo niyan nasisisi pa diyan madalas yung teachers, hindi ba? Bakit hindi mo turuan na maayos? Pero were they made aware to begin with? Ta's pangalawa, were they properly trained to deal with those specific cases? And I
Wala.
I I know 'no, I know even sa college, pati mga higher institutions problema 'yan, hindi ba? Miski mga private schools, miski isipin mo mag-enroll ka sa ganitong school na malaki, baka naman ano 'no, ma-accommodate siya. Pero 'di ba, tama ba?
Oo,
Meron pa
yes,
ring
yes. We
culture
see
na
that
tipong, "Ay hindi namin alam na meron palang gano'ng problema." Ta's sinasabi pa minsan, "Mag-enroll na lang po kayo sa ibang school." Kaya nga
yes,
nagpunta sa university na 'yan, 'di ba?
yes, yes. We hear that a lot. And siguro three things we will bring up. First, the data and studies are clear. Pinaka-effective mag-intervene while they are young. Ibig sabihin, early childhood yan. Mas maganda kung 0 to 5 before kinder, ma-intervene na yan. O kung hindi man, at kinder level, ma-intervene na yan. Kasi kaya lang naman lumalala or nagiging issue talaga is because hindi natin natugunan yung pangailangan ng bata habang maaga pa. Ikalawa, tanggapin din natin ang sabi din ng mga teachers, minsan yung parents. Kasi kailangan, we also need to understand that there is a mindset shift that needs to be oriented among our parents. Kasi sinasabi ng mga teachers, sir, kahit na i-request namin, mag-appeal kami sa parent na magpa-assess yung bata, ayaw nilang ipa-assess. Kasi daw, hindi naman daw may special needs yung anak nila. So parang yung stigma nandoon. So kahit na alam ng mga guro, makakabenepisyo yung bata kung matulungan at mabigyan ng tamang assessment at suporta, ayaw mismo nung magulang. And third, tulad nung sinabi, di ba si BBM in the SONA, sinabi niya, dinagdagan yung number of sessions that is covered by PhilHealth. Maganda siya in theory, pero to be honest, ang tanong kasi namin for the past year, ilan ba talaga ang facilities ng PhilHealth na kayang sumuporta sa learners with disabilities? Kasi yes, may Z-benefit. Comprehensive yung package. Yes, dinagdagan natin yung support to 150 sessions according to the President. Pero ilan lang ba yung meron? And the data shows us that there are only 21 facilities in the country that can support learners with disabilities and that are
21?
21 accredited by PhilHealth. And most of them are in Metro Manila and Region 4A, Calabarzon area. Sa buong Region 7, buong Cebu, wala ni isa. Sa buong Northern Mindanao, kasama na ang Cagayan de Oro, wala ni isa. Sa buong Socsargen area, Sarangani, Jensan, Sultan Kudarat, wala ni isa. So, anong gagawin ng mga magulang na nandoon? And we're talking at the regional level, not even provincial, not even for highly urbanized cities. 21 only, mostly in Manila, and for the rest of the country, wala naman. So kahit maraming covered ng PhilHealth na sessions, kung walang accredited, walang mapupuntahan yung mga magulang. And this is a day-to-day problem kasi ang mahal ng services ng occupational therapist, physical therapist, speech pathologist, and very few talaga yung available accredited facilities that can benefit from these PhilHealth packages.
Diyos ko, lala ko na bad trip. I wanted to end this interview.
Sorry.
On a positive note, kahit pa paano, pero talagang nakakadismaya.
Pero yun nga which is why we're saying, we appreciate the priority of the President on education, but we really need that also sana the President marshal all government agencies, Civil Service Commission, ECCD Council, DOH, PhilHealth, kasi lahat to duktong-duktong Yung development pediatricians natin, only 109 for the entire country. And 75% of that is in Greater Manila area. NCR, Region 4A, Region 3. So, paano pa yung ibang lugar? Wala na talagang ma-access na development pediatricians. And so, we need sana, and we are hoping that the President could, kahit hindi sa SONA, could still really give instructions. Let us fix our learning crisis. Hindi lang to DepEd, CHED, TESDA, DILG, DOH, PhilHealth, galaw-galaw. NNC, let's move, let's work together because urgent po ito. Kasi araw-araw, ang daming bata nababansot, hindi makapagbasa, hindi natututo. So that is really our hope for the remainder of this year.